Hi there, big issue coming up on the show today, social media and kids.
Yes, is it all bad or can social media have its benefits for our children?
Well, it's the million-dollar question and we'll answer that today. Lots more to come, so let's get on with it. Today, how to fit an exercise routine in when you don't like exercise.
I guess the answer is don't wait for motivation.
How to use the power of your mind to conquer your fears.
Wherever your head goes, your body follows.
How visiting your dentist will tell you more about your health than just your teeth.
Stay with us for a show packed with advice, inspiration, motivation and nutrition. We're turning it on just for you.
I love this!
Let's all get well, stay well, live well and look fabulous. Right here in the House of Wellness. G'day everybody, welcome to this hour dedicated to your health. Hello everybody, I'd like to get a little bit of that $1 million too.
Yes, and hello to you, Ed. Hi everyone out there. I know we're banging on about it, but that story coming up about kids and social media is a must-see. Stick around for that.
Really is so important, we'll get to it soon. Gerald's here too. What are you going to tease us with across the course of the show?
Joint pain today, Ed. So if you've got any issues with joints, the A to Z of vitamins will have the answers for you.
Alrighty, good stuff. And if you're suffering joint pain, many Australians are. There may be one word you hate hearing, right? Exercise. And you're not alone. We all know how important exercise is, but some of us still don't do enough of it.
Yeah, what if the problem is you simply don't like exercising? You might be easily embarrassed, you might be scared of injury, you don't have the time or might be appalled at the thought of pulling on your lycra.
Oh, the activewear, getting active in your activewear.
That's true.
Well, according to the Heart Foundation, some 12 million Aussies either participate in very low levels of exercise or do none at all. That's nearly half the population. But you may have the wrong idea about exercise, and Jo is here to help explain. Hello.
Hi, now I know, Ed, you love your, is it up, what are you, ski paddle?
Paddling, yeah.
Yes, right, and you're at the gym. I'm always seeing you on Insta with your gym photos.
Oh, yeah, he does have a gym photo with no top on.
Doesn't he love that? Yeah. And you do Pilates.
I do.
Yes, and we've seen the Quiggulator, of course.
Yes.
He's a machine.
Yes.
Gun show.
Well, I love exercise, but I have to admit that sometimes I struggle with motivation. Sometimes I'm like, oh, it's too cold, I don't want to go outside. Well, for people like myself, I have a few tips for you to make exercise fun. Here's one of the great mysteries of my life. I love running. I love the way it makes me feel. Yet, I will find every excuse not to go. It's too hot, it's too cold, it's too windy. I'm having a good hair day and I don't want to mess it up. I mean, how do we make ourselves exercise when we hate exercising? Thanks to cars and technology, we've become a sedentary society, and it's making us sick. We have to find a way to get our bodies moving as nature intended. I guess the answer is don't wait for motivation. Find ways to build exercise into your day, like parking a kilometre away from where you need to be. Walking 1 kilometre takes an average of 10 minutes. Do that twice a day and you're getting the blood pumping, burning calories and breathing more deeply. But is it enough? I've caught up with exercise physiologist Jennifer Smallridge to find out. How often in a week should we be exercising?
The guidelines are 5 days a week at 30 minutes.
Oh, that's so much. That's so much.
Or you can build that up in 10-minute increments. So that's sometimes a bit more appealing to people who are time poor. They do find from research that it takes about 14 days to get cardiovascularly fitter and about 6 to 8 weeks to get muscularly stronger.
There's opportunity everywhere, though. People always say, don't take the lift, climb the stairs, and that's because stair climbing works your heart and the biggest muscle group in your body, and it's better to work it than sit on it. Researchers at McMaster's University found sprint interval training, such as short daily bursts of stair climbing 3 times a week for 6 weeks, increased cardiovascular fitness, as well as lowering the risk of osteoporosis. And the North American Menopause Society concluded stair climbing led to reductions in arterial stiffness and blood pressure. Here's another way to motivate yourself to exercise that doesn't feel like exercising. Find a cause you believe in. Meet the ploggers, or the Footscray Rubbish Runners. a group of joggers who have turned exercise into a community service.
So, plogging, picking up rubbish and jogging, how did that come about?
It was actually the Swedish. They started it. It's a combination of two words. To plucker up is to pick up in Swedish, and then jogging. So we got plogging. And now it's an international movement. There's groups all over the world, and we're the Melbourne branch.
When Derek Atkinson and Louise Cadell aren't entertaining crowds as the Melbourne indie band Miles recommends, they're cleaning up after them. They do these rubbish runs every month and have 200 members in their group.
And how much would you pick up in that time?
Every month, at least 1,000 litres of rubbish.
Are you serious? I mean, it's a bit of a workout. There's a bit of weight to that. Do you feel like you're getting a workout, or is it more about the cause?
No, it's both, you see. The cause, and it's good for the glutes. You know, all the lunging, all the picking up, you know, you're working a few extra muscles you wouldn't usually use.
I'm finding myself getting quite competitive. Oh, it's mine. I got it. Oh, cigarette butt. Experts will tell you that a great way to motivate yourself is to combine something that you really love with exercise. But how am I going to work up a sweat just looking at beautiful pieces of art?
Yes, I am a big fan of the National Gallery of Victoria, and can you believe they offer exercise sessions around the collections? What?
Starting right now.
I love this!
These sessions run before the gallery opens, so at the very least, it's a unique way to experience beautiful and amazing art.
Usually when I'm down here, it's with a glass of champagne in hand. It's quite a different experience.
You've got to take your hat off to New York's Monica Bill Barnes & Co. for coming up with this idea. Exercise and art go together surprisingly well. The workout goes for just under an hour and covers around 3.5 kilometres. It really gets your heart pumping.
Very hot.
And that, my friends, is the secret to tricking yourself healthy. Make exercising fun.
Ladies, what did you think? I was absolutely awesome. Absolutely brilliant. It's also a sneaky way to trick yourself to do exercise, isn't it? Oh, indeed. Yeah.
You can't feel anything but happy. The music is great and the commentary in the background is great. So it's really, it just inspires you, really.
What I would have done to be a part of that group at the art gallery, Jo.
I mean, power walking with Warhol.
Right.
What more could you want? It was beautiful.
That is so awesome, tricking yourself. And the art gallery is going to do that for you. Finding great ways. How do you find them, though?
Well, I think you've got to work out what's right for you. What do you love? So do it with some friends, because then it's a social thing, or reward yourself after you've done it. You know,
with
say
a
to
glass
yourself,
of wine?
That's it. If I do this, then I'm going to give myself maybe a little teeny bit of a chocolate bar or something. Or for me, it's about setting appointments. I really don't like breaking appointments. So if I've said to myself, well, I'm doing a class at this time on that day, I will always go.
I'm just picturing Van Gogh and Monet looking out from their own paintings at these exercises. Would have been quite funny. But I do like the notion of exercise by stealth. And we saw you in your nice high-vis kind of workout.
Wasn't that great?
Tricking yourself into exercise is smart.
Well, because we know we have to do it. I reckon as soon as you know you have to do something, sometimes that's the time where you say, no, I don't want to.
Not doing it,
Just because I know it's good for me. So make sure that it's done in a way that you enjoy. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, good outcome.
So 12 million people, that's half of Australians are not exercising enough, right? So you want to find something that you're into. Even the Zumba.
Yes,
That's so
move your body.
great.
I think also too, start small so that you don't decide you're hopeless right from the outset.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
if you start with just little increments and you're successful at that, then you gain the confidence and you set another little... That's how I learnt. I taught myself to run. I ran 500 metres, then I ran a K, then I ran 1.5. Now I can do
Yes.
10 Ks easily.
Fantastic. You sneaky little exerciser. Thank you,
What
Jo.
about
Great tips. And if you'd like more on the show, stay watching.
Yes, we're
Plenty
going to
coming up.
look into the power of the mind and how you can tackle it. And we're also going to learn how to make banana icy poles. Yum.
It's all coming up.
Coming up, why that yearly visit to your dentist is good for more than just your teeth.
But up next, House Heroes, bringing colour and fun to residents in an aged care home.
We've got green screen performance activity. I'm playing with costume pieces.
Stay with us for all that and more on the House of Wellness.
Welcome back. Well, our house hero story this week's guaranteed to put a smile on your face. Now, you don't normally hear the words drag act and aged care facility in the same sentence, right? But that's what makes this one so special.
Yeah, Liam Benson and Naomi Oliver form a drag act called the Motel Sisters, and they're currently the artists in residence at the Abel Tasman Aged Care Facility in New South Wales. Their performances have brought fun and frivolity to a place where joy is needed most.
When a drag queen or a couple of drag queens walk into the room, we can really shift the mood of the room dramatically.
And the fact that we're living here, it's not just we just fly in, fly out, make people laugh, do something cute. It's really gone deep very quickly.
I'm Tacky Motel.
I'm Paris Motel, and together we're the Motel Sisters. Hello, how are you? We were approached by the Information and Cultural Exchange at Parramatta. They proposed to us living 24/7 as the Motel Sisters in a retirement village. First we laughed, and then it slowly sunk in how meaningful it could be.
Paris and Tacky, loud, colourful, bright, brings so much joy and so much, craziness to Abel Tasman. First day when they arrive, residents who are quite, bed-bound with, heavy dementia, just smiling, picking up Tacky's little feather and tickling Tacky and bringing out the cheekiness out of them.
We've got green screen performance activity and playing with costume pieces and playing with technology as well, keeping up to date.
We've got room renovations with our little clipboards and our fabric swatches, and we come in, we give as much love as we can, and we can spend time that staff may not have.
Care staff, time is not on our side. They have 10-15 minutes to get into the residence room, have them ready, have them shower, and they're out of there again. But now what we notice is with Tacky and Paris coming in, they can sit there for that half an hour and say, tell me, I'm here to listen, and have that time for them. It's been awesome.
We've really connected with people. I cry really easily, and yeah, it is really, see, I started now.
It's very emotional.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting at least how grueling it would be physically, because it's sometimes 12-hour days in drag, so it's actually physically exhausting, but so rewarding. I feel like this has been the most honest life experience of my life.
The one thing that I feel like we really want to get out of it is making people remember that they're special and that this isn't the end, like life is still going on, so let's make the most of it.
Gosh, you know what? They're incredible. To commit your life to live in-house.
Living in-house, yeah.
For 4 weeks. I think we all assume they just come in and out. They're amongst the residents. Huge commitment, and I'm impressed.
The fabulous Motel Sisters bring out the cheekiness too in the residents, as we saw.
You know who
too.
you'd be? You'd be Tacky.
You're so Paris.
I am.
No question. If you'd like to find out more about the Motel Sisters, head over to our website, the House of Wellness, and pick up the thread there.
You know what? If that story put a smile on your dial, you know what else would put a smile on your dial? Going to the dentist and hearing, your teeth are healthy, nothing needed here today, go on off with you.
Yeah, they'll still charge you a lot though.
Mozza.
Sorry about that. But, your dentist might not just be talking about your teeth. It seems a visit to the local fang doctor can help identify numerous medical conditions that may be affecting your day-to-day health. So joining us to explain the added benefits of regular checkups is our dentist guru, Dr. Luke Cronin. Hello.
Hi guys, thanks for having me.
So it's not just the mouth, it seems. I mean, a regular visit can reveal so much more, such as?
So when we're actually looking at the general health, and we can see that by looking at things such as teeth grinding, we can look at decay, and we can look at gum disease.
Okay.
If we're talking things like sore teeth, sore jaws, and we're talking teeth grinding, what would that look like? What are we doing at night?
So everybody grinds to a degree at night time. Okay. So we often do really strange things in our sleep that you wouldn't think of doing when you're awake.
Is it just that you don't like the person you're next to and you just, oh...
Well, it's more to do with some underlying issues and things like, having sleep disturbances from stress. And we show that with our grinding, and we can see that as a dentist with the teeth being worn down.
Yeah, okay. Is that a massive issue? Is that going to be problematic, or is that just a wear and tear factor?
It's becoming one of the bigger issues. As society gets less decay, we're getting more stress and we're getting more wear. So it's one of the things that I think we're going to see as a bigger problem moving forward.
Interesting. I mean, a chiro or a physio might look at you walking, can understand what's going on with your spine and your muscles, etc. You get a good gauge of someone's health by looking in their mouth. What about decay? We always cover that, don't we? We think it's, I've just had too many lollies. Does that tell us something about our health?
Well, decay is caused by excess sugar. And excess sugar, in the long run, can actually lead to diabetes. So if we're seeing decay in people's mouths, there's a good indicator moving forward in the future that they could likely end up with diabetes.
Wow, that's so interesting.
Yeah,
what about something like gum disease? I know we've spoken to you before about bad breath. Gum disease, gum health, I mean, I guess it can sometimes be overlooked because we're just focusing on the brushing of the teeth and not the gum health. How vital is it?
Well, gum health can lead to heart disease as a problem.
Really?
So having poor gum health and periodontal disease really increases that chance. And I think that especially if we've already got either issues with our heart or diabetes, it's really important that our gum health is completely up to scratch and doing that every 6 months with the dentist.
So kind of flipping that around, if you take really good care of your teeth and brush a couple of times a day and floss and do all that, it might mask if you've got actual other issues. At least you're presenting with a healthy mouth.
Well, that's one of the things that when you do go to the dentist, we can diagnose those issues.
Okay.
And we can work out what may be going on systemically as well.
Okay, interesting stuff. Dr. Luke, thanks for being on. Can you stick with us? We've got some calls actually standing by and some emails that we'd like your help with.
Sure.
All right.
Looks forward to it.
Stay with us. Back in just a sec here on the House of Wellness.
Later, we learn how social media is helping our kids' health and building relationships.
But next, we're getting creative in the kitchen. Healthy maca banana ice blocks. And we're all looking forward to making those ones. Back here after the break on the House of Wellness.
Right, let's trick the kids into eating healthy foods and include Peruvian maca powder for us grown-ups. This simple recipe starts with ripe bananas sliced and combined with natural yogurt and coconut milk. Add vanilla bean extract, maple syrup, and half a tablespoon of maca powder, followed by a sprinkle of cinnamon. Blend well and pour into your moulds, whilst including fresh fruit. Freeze overnight and serve to unsuspecting offspring.
Or why wait for summer for that nutritious to delicious treat? That's the maca banana ice blocks with BioGland's maca powder. If you make them yourself, you can eat them all. Well, it's not, if they're already in your house, it's fine.
One after the other.
If you want the delicious recipe too, just Google House of Wellness healthy recipes and they will be there for you.
Yeah, now that is a great little snack for all the family. The combination of the maca powder and the bananas is this like super energising boost, you know. This could become a family favourite, right, GQ?
It certainly could, Zoe. In your house, maca's an energising herb.
And so is banana.
So is banana, yeah.
Well, power ice cream. All right, let's jump into your calls, everybody. Dr. Luke has stayed with us. Thank you for this. Because we have Carmen standing by with a question in Watsonia, Victoria. How can we help you out?
I'd like to know the difference between sodium fluoride and calcium fluoride and which of the two is in our drinking water.
Yeah, important question. We'll go straight to the dentist, Guru.
That's a very important question. So in our drinking water, we use sodium fluoride. Calcium fluoride is a naturally occurring element that you find which is in fluoride. But in our drinking water, we use sodium fluoride, and we use that on a level that gives us the right amount of fluoride in our water to prevent dental health.
So it's good to drink the tap water?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great to drink the tap water.
Okay, now let's go to Bill from Gawler, South Australia, who sent in an email. My wife has thyroid problems that have caused her to lose lots of weight. Is there a natural product to treat thyroid? GQ can help us with this.
Bill, with thyroid issues, we don't actually talk about treating so much, that the doctor will do that. But we look at addressing the symptoms of low thyroid, which in Bill's wife's case is losing weight. Now, nutrients you can do to add on, coenzyme Q10, fish oil, N-acetylcholine, these things are important to actually help make sure that the thyroid functions correctly.
So supporting the thyroid.
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic. Another email here, this one might be for you, Luke, from Janice in Parramatta, New South Wales. My husband suffers terribly from bad breath. I've got him using mouthwash, but it doesn't do much. Is there anything else we can do?
I'm sorry to hear that, Janice. I think that the best resolution at this stage would be go and see the dentist. But things that you could try at home would be things like flossing or using an interdental brush to clean in between. Mouthwash can help, but mostly disguises the problem.
Reading between the lines, we spoke about this earlier with you, bad breath could be an indicator of what else?
Well, bad breath could be an indicator of periodontal disease, and that can be indicative of other systemic issues that we spoke about earlier.
And that means gum disease, right?
That is gum disease.
But if you had gum disease, that'd be noticeable. What about the person that you've got your hand down their throat and doing all sorts, and you're saying, your breath is really... Do you say that? Do you intervene and say...
We'll diagnose it. We'll be able to smell it, but we will diagnose it as gum disease, and we'll describe the disease to them, what they can do to fix it and how we can deal with that issue.
Sure. Because it can be a digestion issue as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. You have to kind of decipher. You'd be able to tell that from the teeth.
Yeah. We can.
Got it.
Yes.
Thanks for sticking around, Dr. Luke.
No worries.
Great to have you with us. Make sure you stay with us too. There's plenty more to come after this.
And you can't miss us, beaming out right across Australia on the 7 Network and the Prime Network. So join us on the show for everyone who wants to live life to the fullest.
Later, we learn about the benefits of social media for your kids.
Next, is it possible to overcome the impossible with the power of the human mind?
Firewalking is a metaphor for what you think is impossible.
We'll be back here to find out after the break on the House of Wellness.
Welcome back. Well, we've all heard the phrase, you can do anything if you set your mind to it. But is it true? Can you really use your mind to influence the world around you?
Yeah, it's so interesting and it's a much debated topic. So to test the theory of mind over matter, we needed someone who was up for a mental and physical challenge. And of course, former Olympian gold medalist Giaan Rooney put her hand up.
Picture this. Until 3 hours ago, the man that's standing face to face with you was a total stranger.
Standing where he stands, feeling unstoppable, total certainty right now.
And he's about to ask you to walk across a bed of red, hot coals.
Breathe where you breathe now. You could do anything you want in your life.
What would you be thinking about right now?
And I want you to see who you are on the other side. Make that decision right now.
The impossibility of walking on fire?
And here is that moment.
Or of the sheer possibility that you can do anything you put your mind to?
Yes, open those eyes. Yes, yes, yes!
Well, right now I am well and truly outside of my comfort zone. But before I show you what transpired, there's a few things I think we need to talk about.
In my career as an Olympic swimmer, I faced adversities. I certainly faced my fair share of pressures. But to perform at my peak, I had to learn to overcome my biggest fear, which for me was fear of failure. I have never had to do anything like this, however, walk on fire. And they say it's just mind over matter, but is the mind really that powerful? Well, today, I guess I'm going to find out.
We hear the words, it's all in the mind, or focus the mind and you'll be unstoppable, all the time. Our brain is a powerful thing. It contains billions of nerve cells arranged in patterns that coordinate thought, emotion, movement, and sensation. Learning about the connection our mind has over our physical matter, or our bodies, starts when we are young. Kids today are being bombarded by all kinds of school pressures, peer pressures, and social media body image issues. And that's why Jessica McElvey, a social worker and founder of Kids Yoga Therapy, believes the younger we can start working with kids to relax their minds, the better they will cope in adult life with things like job interviews or relationships.
What we want for the children to understand from a young age is that the one thing we can control is our mind, and they have the power to do this, and which means they have the power to perceive the world and the challenges in a way that will benefit them and serve them and not cause additional stress and anxiety for them.
She believes that the younger we start working with kids to relax their minds through yoga and meditation, the better we are at setting them up for the future.
So this is generally before the age of 7. So if we can tap into that age bracket, then we're really able to guide them to see a less worried person.
So you'd have to think that if we can teach our children at a young age to calm their minds, that is only going to help them through the rest of their lives. But what about if we're a little bit older? Is it ever too late to overcome those fears that might be holding us back?
Curek Ashley is a leading expert in the world of self-development.
To get your goals in life, you need to stay focused on your goal.
He survived his own tragedy, a helicopter accident that killed 5 of his friends. And a few times every year, he runs a 4-day self-discovery workshop on the Gold Coast, where he will literally have you walking on fire to find out what you are capable of.
The term mind over matter. What does that mean to you?
Wherever your head goes, your body follows. And it's about how we communicate with ourselves and then how we communicate with others. But you won't communicate differently with others until you communicate differently with yourself.
So how does firewalking come into it?
Well, firewalking is a metaphor for what you think is impossible. You got 600-degree searing hot coals in front of you. Your brain says, that's impossible, I'm gonna get hurt. You make that decision, you take that first step. That once you do it, you get to the other side, you say, now wait a minute, if that's not impossible, what else have I been telling myself is impossible that's been holding me back from everything I want in life?
So in your mind, is anything possible?
No, not anything, everything.
And on that note, can't put it off any longer. Let's get this fire started.
Let's go, firewalk!
Okay.
And so we are back to where we came in.
Breathe, 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 knowing you could do anything you want in your life, and here's that moment right now.
I have literally known Curek for 3 hours.
And I want you to see who you are on the other side. Make that decision right now.
But as he stokes my sense of self-belief, I'm actually beginning to feel a few things that I truly wasn't expecting.
And here we go. I want you to do yes, yes. Open those eyes. Yes, yes, yes. Go. Eyes up, eyes up, eyes up, eyes up, eyes up, eyes up.
Stop! Wipe your feet! Celebrate!
Cheery. Thank you. Emotional. I really wasn't expecting to be emotional. It was a really powerful, overwhelming feeling. But going through the process also made me realise that there's things I'd like to be better at, or things that are maybe holding me back that I hadn't even realised. And so all of a sudden, I had a very real goal to get out of this, where I didn't have that coming into it. So all of a sudden, it was like, well, if I'm going to do this process, let's get something out of it.
Oh, I got the surge of adrenaline watching that for you, Giaan. Tell us what you felt going over the coals.
Isn't it amazing? I really didn't expect to feel emotional after it, and you saw that in that story. I think for me, I was going through the motions of trying to think about what it was going to be like walking over those hot coals, and I gave up because it's just something that you've never done before in your life. So I just gave up on that process. And then as we got closer and as we got through it, I thought, you know what, I don't have anything huge in my life that I need to conquer right now, but there's probably some small things that I could work on. And I thought, why not try and give this 100% and see what actually happens? So the person you are before you walk on the coals is not meant to be the person you are when you finish walking on the coals. So I had almost like a little bit of an emotional release. It was fantastic.
It's so interesting because you're an Olympic gold medalist. Has mind over matter changed for you post-walking fire?
I don't think so, Zoe. I think for me, I always 100% believed in mind over matter, and in fact took it a step further. As an elite athlete, you have to almost submit to that feeling of mind over matter, because if you don't believe that you are strong enough, fast enough to win that race, then it's not going to happen. If you don't believe you're going to get 100% out of yourself, it's not going to happen. So I had always had that process very strong in my mind, but I I guess that I hadn't sensed it in an overcoming fear process before. And we've got so many things we still don't know about the mind. It still is a huge mystery out there. But for those skeptics, I want you to have a look at this story about Adrian.
10 years I tried everywhere. Any person that I thought could help me, I'd go try. I was just giving up. I was giving up the fight. And then my mum actually found Curec up in Queensland. He's amazing, this bloke. At first, he just basically pulled my head out of the gutter and just got me thinking, right, I can beat this. The actual fire walk itself was unreal. It was a great experience. When you get to the end, everyone's cheering and clapping, and it's, mate, to me, that was the turning point. I managed to beat it, and it happened basically just instantly. Yeah, it was just like a rebirth.
Gosh, what a great story. Now, we're not saying firewalking can cure Tourette's, but it was a great outcome in that instance. Giaan, what's it mean for the everyday people who've got a challenge coming up, a job interview? How do we get the mind over matter power and harness that?
I think the biggest thing that came out of that story for me was the fact that we can use it every day and nothing is impossible, but the power of positive thought. So always look at the positive, always try and be a glass half full person and really only allow the mind to focus on those positive outcomes and it'll do the rest.
Gold medalist, firewalker. Thank you, Giaan. That was great stuff indeed. Would you do it, Zoe?
Would I? I have, buddy. I've already walked fire.
Really? I'm so impressed. How'd you go?
You know, I did singe my foot a little bit, got a little blister. So it was real fire. I was doubting it.
Was that because halfway along the coals you paused, did a little selfie?
100%. You know, according to Instagram, 47,000 images are uploaded to the site every minute, and that's just one of many social media outlets.
It's an extraordinary number. Many of those posts, of course, would be by young people, right? Whether we like it or not, social media has become an integral part of our kids' lives. But are we kind of panicking about it? Is it all bad? Here to explain is Dr. Joanne Orlando. Nice to have you back, Dr. Jo.
Hello.
Big numbers, though, right? And clearly social media is not going away anytime soon.
No, and those numbers are just increasing. And Instagram, particularly, is one of the most used social media platforms by young people.
Okay.
It's the social media platform of choice. So we know there's lots of bad things. We know about cyber safety. We know about kids getting distracted when they're doing their homework. But there is actually a good side. So think about school. So we know kids are at school. They're on their textbooks. Imagine they're learning about art. Say it's Picasso. Okay, they can read about Picasso. They might see some of the images. But that can feel a bit removed for kids, like it's got nothing to do with their life. But go onto Instagram, there's lots of artists on there.
Yeah.
Some of them are probably using Picasso's techniques, and kids can see that insider information and how they're actually using art today by real artists. So it can make that learning really come alive for kids. They get to see how it's applied today, and it can make it a lot more relevant for them.
Okay, so apart from school, are there pros, say, socially for them, for kids?
Yeah, so one of the things we know about social media is it connects you to other people outside your network. So we know there's a bad side to that, but there's definitely a good side to it. So health-wise, it can actually offer them a lot of support to a network that they mightn't have in their local area. So a child might have a condition that they might feel a bit embarrassed about, or they don't know anyone who's got it, they can feel a bit on the outside. So they can go onto like a Facebook group, say it's for epilepsy or a different kind of health condition, connect with people who have got that.
Find community.
Yeah.
Further on the health issue, though, I mean, we often see the fitness posts and the action posts. Is that still a pro because we're comparing ourselves to others?
Well, that body image comparison is absolutely, you know, it can be quite damaging for their self-esteem. So that's where education comes in. So around social media, using it to help to educate children, but also educating them about those things, particularly around the health and fitness aspect of it.
Now, it can make all of us quite antisocial, but is there an actual effect on their relationships?
Yeah, well, about 94% exactly of young people say that connecting with their friends and strengthening their established friends, so their school friends, their soccer friends, that's the biggest plus of social media. And about 64% of kids say that that's where I'm actually making new friends. So I know my daughter was starting at a new high school, seriously worried and nervous about it. She had one friend online who went to the new school, who then introduced her to a whole lot of people.
Nice.
So day one, she was good.
Just got to be careful of the little hang-up about getting certain likes. How many likes did I get for that sort of self-validation, etc., right?
That's right, yeah.
You're the social media queen here of the
Am
House
I?
of Wellness gang.
I'll take it.
Do you take on board this? Are you going to approach things differently hearing this from Dr.
Well,
Jo?
you know, when it comes to my child, I'm actually relieved that this has all come into action now, and hopefully there'll be more boundaries around it when he's old enough to use it. It's a scary time for for children, but I think knowing that there is a plus and it is such a community is a positive. So thank you for being here and explaining it to us.
Okay.
Thanks, Dr. Jo. Nice to see you. Now, if you want to pull back a little bit from social media, you can go the old-fashioned way and still catch up with us. The House of Wellness radio show is on the airwaves each Sunday across the land.
Yes, we're across the country, so make sure you tune in. Put your listening ears on, as I like to say. So much great information for everyone.
Goodness me, were you born in 1912?
Ah, well.
Later, if you're struggling with joint pain, stick around for the A to Z of vitamins. It is for you.
Next, we meet a celebrity transformation duo and discover their secret of their successes.
We'll be back after the break here on the House of Wellness.
Welcome back. Well, earlier on the show, we talked about exercise for people who don't like exercising. What about those who want to commit more to their fitness routine? Well, our next guests know all about that.
Yes, they're responsible for the recent transformations of more than a few celebrities, including Larry Emder and Guy Sebastian and his beautiful wife, Jules.
Amazing transformations. And joining us today to share some secrets from their new book, 8 Weeks to Wow, are two of Australia's leading health and fitness coaches, Emilie Brabon-Hames and hubby Chief Brabon. Nice to have you in, guys.
Thank you.
This is fantastic. I love the title too, 8 Weeks to Wow.
Because that's what you want everyone to look at you after 8 weeks and go, wow.
Oh, yeah.
What's going to make it different to others? There's a few programs out there. Yours stands out though.
I think what we've tried to do with the program is put something together that everybody can do, and someone's going to see results very, very quickly. Now, we've always under the idea that results that take time, you're going to be able to maintain longer. But research has shown that if you see dramatic results in the first 2 to 3 weeks, you are 90% more likely to finally achieve your goal. So that's what the whole book's been designed to do, to show results very quickly, to keep you motivated.
Now, we love a celebrity transformation story, right? So let's talk celebs. Guy Sebastian was a massive one. I think we've got a shot of him beforehand. I think he looks great.
Yeah.
He just looks like a normal guy, doesn't
But
he? Right?
then...
Bam.
After the
wow.
wow.
That is wow. That is really wow.
That's 8 weeks of solid commitment.
And now Larry, and I mean, he's how old?
He's 54 now.
And
I shouldn't say that.
He's never looked better. Can we see wow? Yeah, that's wow, Larry.
That's after Larry. Wow.
Okay, now you need to tell me, give me a little bit of goss. Who was complaining more, Guy or Jules?
Oh.
Oh, no, that's tough one.
They're not complainers.
No.
Okay, move on to Larry then. Give me some goss.
Larry.
Yeah,
Larry was
Larry's
whinging.
Larry's more of a, are you sure I can eat this much food? Are you sure I only have to do this much exercise?
Did anyone text you at all hours going, okay, there's a box of Maltesers, I don't know what to do, there's a standoff.
The classic one is when Em gets texts from people who, because the hardest thing is when you're out socialising. So they're out somewhere with their mates and okay, they're going to look at me funny if I don't have a drink, or they're sort of pestering me. And so Em will give them ideas of, okay, just go to the bar, ask for a champagne glass, but get mineral water in it.
Yeah, right.
It's little tricks around it, but also if they're out to, they'll literally take a photo of the menu and text it to her
What should I order?
What do I eat?
Really?
Let's take a look at an everyday person who's had great results as well. Charlene Rhea did an amazing transformation. Here's the start, and then...
No, that's really well. How old is she?
She's 56, and she is my personal hero. She's incredible.
But guys, a big deal, not only the exercise, is the nutrition. Right?
Yes.
So important, because you can train an hour a day, but you've still got 23 hours in the day to fill, right?
And I'm always hungry, so can we talk about the food?
You can be always hungry. The thing that we've done with the book is we've made it so that it's A, more accessible, but B, less diety. No one wants to be on a diet.
What does that mean, less diety? Like less deprivation?
Yeah, less deprivation and less diety foods.
The food in general. So the food which we've tried to put into the book is things that you'll actually look forward to. So a good curry and things like that.
I think I saw an eggplant lasagna.
Yes.
Yep.
No. Chief, I wanted a little bit of wow. Can we do a couple of exercises?
He needs it, obviously.
Give me some wow to start with.
A simple one where you are right now is to do just a pistol squat. So great one to work the legs and glutes. One leg out in front of you. You're just going to lean forward and drive all the way up to straight and slowly down.
Give me a wow.
Wow.
Heartfelt.
Some more wow, please.
And another great one, again, just things that you can do at home, and every exercise in the book can be done without any equipment, is just sitting on the edge of the seat where you are right now and just pulling your knees up as high as you can, try and squeeze your rib cage down to your pelvis, working your abdominal.
The harder you make it, the further you lean back.
Wow.
Go down.
I got some wow. I got some wow.
We
Thanks,
basically wanted to make it accessible to everyone, so even you can do it.
We'll do it in the break.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming in. Great to see you.
Thank you for having us.
We'll be back right after the break here. Wow, this is the House of Wellness. Welcome back. A to Z of Vitamins time. Nice to have Gerald back with us too. And it's a fact too, at some stage in our lives, we're going to experience aching joints, right? They could be caused by injuries. It might even be from ageing bones. What can we look towards to ease some of that joint pain that a lot of Aussies go through?
Just wear and tear. And we look to seafood. So we talk fish oil, but today we're going to have a look at muscle, M-U-S-S-E-L, as in
Not
green...
this muscle, as in
what muscle?
that muscle.
Yes.
Oh, cheeky.
Yes. So we're looking here at New Zealand green lip mussel, full of omega-3s, other ingredients to help the structure of the joint. So a very good anti-inflammatory.
So say you do love ducking down and getting yourself a pot of mussels. Could you use this on the side as a supplement if you didn't want to eat them every single day?
Look, mussels are very good for you.
Yeah.
But the New Zealand version is actually different than the regular mussels we find in Australia.
Okay.
So these are proven anti-inflammatories, so it's a little bit different.
One question for those slightly allergic to seafood, is this an option?
Obviously you can't go near them if you're allergic to seafood, so you look at the other things as far as omega-3s are concerned. And there are the herbal anti-inflammatories as well, like turmeric.
All right, great options. The A to Z of Vitamins brought to us by Go Healthy. For healthy energy and vitality, try New Zealand's #1 premium supplements, now available in Australia. Been a great show today, you guys. What did you learn and love?
That I need to get healthy and do some exercise so I am wow.
You are wow, don't you?
Oh, thank you.
If you'd like to know more from today or just revisit, just Google houseofwellness.com.au. You've got recipes and you can reach out and ask questions as well. Next week, by the way, nearly half the population drinks coffee. We're going to find out the pros and cons of one of our favourite beverages and also discover the secrets to beating that silent killer, cholesterol. We've got that and so much more coming up next week. Thanks, you guys, GQ,
thanks,
Zoe,
Ed.
all our friends and our team at Chemist Warehouse.
Thank you,
Thank you.
guys.
Have a healthy and well week, everyone.
Bye.